Well, it's nice to see Javelin is getting an oat skin for her. Both her and Ayanami's skins fit quite well for them. Hopefully, though, we can see an oath skin for Laffy and Z23. There's definitely plenty of people I know that would be oathing them on the spot, or have already oathed them and are going to be happy for that. You know, now that I think about it, there's not a lot of destroyers that have oath skins, do they? I can only think of about, what, 4 right now? I wonder why that... you know what? I know why. Onto the last of the 4 destroyer starters. We have HMS Javelin. She is the final one of the 3 starter destroyers for EN servers hailing from the Royal Navy. While she may be the liveliest of the group, the real question comes down to how she fares with her fellow starter friends. Can she stand at the top of the chain with her allies, or is her personality all that she has going for her? Well, let's dive right in, shall we? Stat-wise, Javelin feels a bit strange to me. Her firepower is better than Ayanami, but nowhere near the strength of Z23 or even Laffy. Likewise, her torpedo stat is better than both Z23 and Laffy, but nowhere near the threat of Ayanami. To top it off, her reload is better than Z23, but slower than Laffy and Ayanami. This is starting to sound similar to Laffy, doesn't it? Javelin is kinda like Laffy with the Generalist design, but she's a step or 2 down from her in the damage department. Her barrage is probably a saving grace in this, as it's reliable and covers a very large area. Outside of the DPS game, we can see that she does have a specialization, as she holds the highest evasion of the 4 starters. I want to believe that she has the best evasion in the game, but at the same time, well, Signet exists. Honestly, I'd say it comes down to how the skills proc in battle. Speaking of skills, Javelin's base skill Javelin Raid can further boost her high evasion even further, by up to 60%. Of course, just like the other starters, this comes at a 5% proc chance. But one could just use the 76mm AA gun to make this a joke like the others. When retrofitted, Javelin gains quite a boost with her evasion, and a minor bump in a few other areas. The evasion boost helps her, but again, I can argue that Signet exists. Okay, Signet Kai exists, but we'll save that for Signet's video. Edit, I just wanted to let you guys know that we don't actually have Signet on the list, so for the sake of this part, I'll just go ahead and add her to it now. Continuing on her retrofit, Javelin gains the Kai skill Assault Mode, which is just like all the other 3 Kai's skills. After the barrage of shells and torpedoes, Javelin gains a 30% boost to her torpedo stat for 5 seconds. Given that her torpedo stat is better than most of our other stats, this is probably the best thing that she could have actually received outside of an evasion boost. When you consider her damage-wise, she's not crazy like the other 3 in terms of her attacks. Sure, she has a pretty good torpedo stat, and her barrage is also pretty good, but there's also plenty of IJN destroyers that can easily do better in terms of the torpedo stat, and there's also the 3 starters. Where Javelin shines is in her evasion. Her really high evasion allows her to dodge most, if not all attacks. No matter how good a fleet is, as soon as they face her in exercises, well, someone is probably going to wish that she would actually sink. I'm not kidding, this has been a common trend in exercises. It's kind of funny. Now, if one were to ask me if she's worth retrofitting, well, I'd say yes, but I'd recommend doing the other 3 starter destroyers first beforehand. After that, she's worth it, as her stat line is still better than a lot of the other DDs. Okay, well, for now at least. Now, with regards to mob or boss fleet, I can say this is kinda up to you. With mob fleets, her evasion can help keep her alive from enemy attacks being constant. Her low health pool can be risky, but healing from Soho and Unicorn can make things a lot less stressful on you. It can also help to bring Illustrious along as well to help keep Javelin alive. Now, she doesn't have the greatest DPS playing entirely in her favor, so she'll struggle to output damage in some cases, but her barrage will definitely help when it activates. With boss fleets, she can definitely help with staying alive should the fight drag on too long. She'll be flexible in her attacks to dish out some damage, but her primary role will be to stay alive long enough for the backline to take out the flagship. Just remember that the boss probably can still hit Javelin, so manual play might be a bit better with her. Overall, I can't say that I fully understand Javelin's build. She may be designed like Laffy with a Generalist setup, but unfortunately her stat line doesn't do her much justice. Sadly, she is definitely the weakest of the 4 starter destroyers. Her retrofit does save her a bit with her increased stats, but it feels like they still built her heavily on evasion, which, I mean, honestly isn't a bad thing. But if there is something she's #1 at, and no, Sandy, get out of here. It's her cheerful personality that Javelin has. Anyway, that'll be all for Javelin. Hope you all enjoyed. As always, the list for requests will be shown now. And feel free to leave a request for a character not listed. I also do want to mention that I do have a Discord that you can join as well. Link for that will be in the description below. Next on the list is Cleveland, and I also have plenty to say about her. I do have one video that I want to release before Cleveland though. Don't worry, it's still Azur Lane related, but it is something that I've been wanting to get out for a while, especially since I've been getting all my thoughts collected. So I'll see you guys later in the next video or live stream that I do. Until then, thanks for watching.